Hi Patrice, let's look at open-ended questions. Okay, so this is actually a plant. Okay, but it's a very special plant because it actually uh, feeds on other living things, like for example small insects. Uh, Although it does feed on other insects to get food, but it still can make its own food. That's why it's still called a plant. Okay, so its main source of food is still by trapping light. Okay, so these are additional food sources. Okay. This is actually what we call carnivorous plants. You do not need to know the name. Basically, carnivorous plants are plants that not only make their own food, they also feed on other living things. Two of the more popular carnivorous plants is your pitcher plant as well as this one, which is a Venus flytrap. Okay. Sometimes you go to those go to market, you can actually see them in very small pots. Okay, so let's go to this question. They ask you to identify what kind of characteristic of living thing is being shown here. Now actually right, you only nowadays you only learn about four types of characteristic. Okay. Before I type it down, maybe you can try to recall while I'm typing. Okay, the four characteristic that you should know. Okay, first one, uh, living things grow, living things reproduce, living things respond to changes, living things need air, food, and water to stay alive. Okay, so actually prior to this there's another three lah. Okay, they also, I mean, before they shorten the characteristic of living things, for before this you have additionally living things can move by themselves from location to location, living things die. Okay, so now it's only shortened to this four. Okay, let's look at A, right? Okay, they're asking you when an insect is flying near the plant, what kind of characteristic is shown here? It is actually quite grey area lah, because actually what the answer is looking for is that uh, is this living things move by themselves from location to location. Okay, now the main reason why this has not been taught anymore because nowadays technology is more advanced. You can have robots. They can move from place to place, and they are non-living things. That's why we don't use this anymore. And sometimes it is not very accurate because plants actually can't move from location to location. Okay, so if you didn't write this, is okay. You can also choose to write some other options that I'll list down here. Okay. Uh, so basically, this insect is attracted to the Venus flytrap, right? So the reason why they're attracted to it is because they have a nice smell, okay, which attract them, which makes them think it is food. Okay, so we can say living things need food to stay alive. I'll accept this as well. Or we can say living things respond to changes. I'll accept this as well because the insect, which is a fly, is attracted to the plant. That's why it fly towards it. Okay, so it's not compulsory you use the first answer. The second one is more clear cut lah. When it's like your mimosa plant, when you touch it, you close, right? So this Venus flytrap, right? I don't know if you've seen it before, but if an insect lands on a Venus flytrap, right, you close, okay, and then the insect will trap inside, and then they'll digest it, okay, to turn it into nutrients. So when an insect land on the Venus flytrap, you close, right? So that's a reaction, that's a response. So for this one, you have to write this: living things respond to changes. Okay. So the next one. Okay. Okay, this one is quite simple, but just be careful. They say based on the picture above. Okay, that means based on what you see from the picture, not based from your knowledge. Okay. They ask you the similarity between A and B, right? So it's quite obvious. Okay, they both have wings. So we're just gonna write this down. both animal A and B have wings. Okay, let's write that now. Okay, they tell you A and B belongs to different group. Okay, by now you should know, based on the knowledge, you should know that B is a bat, and bat is a mammal. It's a very special mammal because it's the only mammal that can fly. This is owl, which is a bird, right? Okay, so let's check. So animal A, okay, it's a bird, right? So let's go and match it. Okay, please use a ruler. Then animal B, which is a bat, is a mammal. Okay, simple as that. You don't even need to spell, need to know how to spell. So now, right, they say based on the observation. That means based on what you see from there, how do you know that they are birds and mammals respectively? Yeah. Okay, so you can just write this down. So obviously the owl, okay, you can see from the diagram, has feathers, right? Only birds has feathers, no other animal groups has feathers. So you can say animal A have outer covering of feathers. Okay, no need to be that strict in terms of your sentence structure lah. You can just say animal A have feathers. Also, it will also do. Okay, then let's look at the next one. Okay, so characteristics of mammals is they have a outer covering of hair. They reproduce by giving birth. They feed its young with milk. Okay, so the last two cannot be shown. It didn't show you how it feeds its young. It didn't show you how they reproduce. So you can only use the first one, which is animal B have outer covering of hair. If you write fur also can or you cannot write fur. I suppose both is acceptable. Now this one, let's see. Plants. Okay, so plants, there are two main groups, right? Flowering and non-flowering. For non-flowering plants, they reproduce by spores. For flowering plants, they reproduce by seeds. This should be our fingertips already. Okay, then they can either live on land or water lah. So land plant is just called land plant, water plant is just called water plant. So what's the suitability for eggs? Okay, I wrote down there. So seeds. So just write down seeds. Don't need to write down reproduce by seeds because they're asking for the word. Okay, so live on land, right? So live on land is here and here, what? So A, C. Then live in water is the other two lah, B and D. Okay, classification very simple as well. Okay, let's go to your decomposer chapter, fungi and bacteria. Microscope. Okay, we have mentioned before, microscope is a instrument. Okay, if you watch the video about fungi and bacteria they have done, you should know that microscope is an instrument that helps you zoom in hundreds or thousands of times so that you can look at things very closely, even for microscopic organisms. That means living things that are very, very tiny that you usually cannot see, although it's all around us. Okay, so as I was telling you, okay, these living things, right, they are microorganisms, so you cannot see them with your eyes. Okay, okay, I mean you don't have to use the word microorganism. You can just say the living things are too small to be seen with our naked eyes. Naked eyes, that means just by looking at it without any instrument like microscope. Okay, or you can say both living things are microorganisms. Okay, so you can also say that they are microorganisms. Okay, both will do. Okay, so let's look at this one. Living thing X belong to the fungi group. Okay, the other one, it belongs to the bacterial group lah. So again, this is actually not taught in school lah, seldom mentioned in school. Okay, but I've mentioned in my video, so hopefully it help you. Okay, bacteria reproduce by dividing itself. Okay, they don't really give birth or lay eggs or whatever. Fungi is like non-flowering plants, they reproduce by spores. But however, remember, fungi is not a plant because fungi cannot make its own food, although their reproduction method is the same. Okay, materials chapter. List two properties of material G. Material G is basically a raincoat lah. Okay, so most importantly, it must be what? It must be waterproof ah. That's the most important criteria. This one must write one. Or if your raincoat is not waterproof, you might as well don't wear the raincoat, right? Okay, then in order for it to be comfortable, it must be flexible. Or you don't want to wear a very stiff raincoat ah. For example, a wooden raincoat doesn't make sense ah. Cannot even move. Okay, which material is used to make part A, which is the external one? So it's your metal, right? Okay, I think you should have seen a microwave before. So it's metal. Okay, because they're strong, right? It doesn't break easily. What material is used to make B? Okay, now B is obviously the front panel lah, so that you can see your food inside. So it is made of glass. Okay, you cannot write plastic, although plastic can also be seen through, but because it's too hot. Okay, so they asked you to explain your choices. Okay, so part B is made from glass. Glass is transparent and allow us to see through. Okay, so when you can see through, you can see your food inside. What's the characteristic of Y? So there are two characteristics because the line goes like this. Okay, so it talks about waterproof and whether or not it break easily. Okay, let's see. So the copy and paste method, the most straightforward method is to say that Y is waterproof, because yes to waterproof, right, is waterproof and does not break easily. Or you can just say the better way to put it is Y is waterproof and strong. Okay, because don't break easily means stronger. Okay, what's the difference between X and Z? So the main difference is here is not the break easily part, because you didn't ask whether or not X break easily. So the main difference is whether or not they are waterproof. So Y is no, right? For Z is yes, right? So that's their main difference, so don't get tricked. So you can just say Z is waterproof, but X is not. Okay. So they ask you for the similarity between Y and Z. So again, it has nothing to do with breaking easily, because Y don't break easily, Z break easily, and they're asking for similarity. They are not asking you for differences. So they are not same in terms of whether or not break easily. Y is obviously strong, Z is obviously weak. So again, it's talking about waterproof. So again, don't get tricked. Okay, you say that both Y and Z are waterproof. Okay, next one. Okay, this one they say ball C float on the water. Okay, so you can just say float on the water. You can just draw. Okay, then remember to label C. Okay, remember the label. If you didn't label, then you're wrong. Okay, in science you don't have to be very good at drawing. Okay, your drawing don't have to look good, don't have to look realistic even, but you must remember to label them for science. Okay, for science the most important part is not drawing but the labeling. So let's look at B. Jim used a table to group A, B, and C. Okay, so A and B is in the same group, right? So they went down in the water, so they sink. This one float. Okay, simple as that. Jim picked up ball A and B from the tank. He found that A is made of a material that's not waterproof, but B is a material that's waterproof. So they are only asking you for A, right? So A, now you know about two things about A. It is not waterproof. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to know about A. Second thing is it sinks. Okay, so you have to think about a material that is not waterproof and sink. Okay. Okay, so not waterproof, that means it cannot block water. So offhand I can think of you, for example your fabric, like for example your cloth so you can write fabric, or you can also write you just have to write one cotton. Okay, wool also can. Okay, so these are the materials that is not waterproof. And then when you drop it in the water, it will sink. Okay, Mr. Lee carried out a test below. Which property of the cable is he testing? Okay, so he put until it breaks. So he's testing the strength. Because if it break with a little bit of weight, that means it's weak. If break after you put a lot of weight, that means it's strong. So he's testing strength. Okay, cable car is heavy, right? So the cable that is used to hold your cable car must be strong. Okay, so cable A is the best because it can store the most weight before it breaks. So A is the strongest. Okay, so which one will you use? Of course, you use the strongest one, because you want something strong to hold your cable car. So you can just say cable A. Then you don't just write strong, because it's a comparison. So you must, for 3 items, for 2 things you use stronger, but in this case there's three things that you are comparing, right? So use strongest. Okay, it is the strongest among the 3 cables. Okay, so you always choose the strongest one. So which material are the cables made of? Okay, so out of these 3, metal and plastic, these 2, sorry. Okay, metal is the stronger one, right? So we know that the cable car, in B we know that the cable car needs a cable that is strong. So metal is stronger than plastic. So you write down metal. Okay, it is stronger than plastic. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.